Hey guys, actually funny neighbor Naf Merriman. Welcome to the Resident Evil 7 Naf Only Challenge. Now before we get into this, I just want to explain the rules to you real quick. Rule number one. Now I can only use the Naf and Naf only. Now this is an exception to when you have to use the axe against Mia in the first fight against the rule number two. No guns. I can pick up ammo though. So you guys are gonna see why as we get through the challenge and everything, but I cannot use any guns at all. Nothing. Nada. Rule number three, I can't use explosives. So the remote bombs and all that other good stuff, I can't use it. So I'm literally restricted to only the knife. Let's get into it. So the story starts out with my supposedly loving wife sending me a video, and it turns out that claims to have been going on a business trip or a babysitting job. But it turns out she was actually seeing a man on the side, all because I said that she looked better with the makeup on. 3 years down the line, she sends me an email to come and pick her up. Little did I know that this was all set up for me to meet her supposed lover. I pulled up to the property and immediately got out of my car and started walking around the area. And immediately I saw a ghost. I came across a videotape and played it. And after watching what is probably the most sexy snuff film I've ever seen, I found my wife. And immediately she started calling out another man's name. She started calling up the stairs like a reverse exorcist. I got welcomed into the family and got stepped on by daddy. And then I woke up at a family feast. After escaping the man who stepped on me and getting a phone call from an unknown woman, she told me to escape the house. I put the phone down in the ear immediately because I thought she was just crazy. And then I met a police officer. He didn't seem to believe me when I said that there was a man trying to step on me again. And he told me to meet him in the garage, so I did. And immediately he got bodies. And now I was onto the Jack Baker fight. Let me tell you, this fight pissed me off so badly when I first played it. I kidding not, probably struggled for like 5 hours on it on normal, so I had to put it down to easy. But once I found the strat, it was very easy. All I did was dance around him and bully him until he eventually gave up. Now I know what you're thinking. This part probably is a fail, but it's a cutscene, so I'm not counting it. I made my way to the living room of the house now. I got another phone call telling me to get out of the house like I didn't know that already. I hung up the phone again, thinking that the woman was just trying to test my patience. It really didn't take me long to find all of the keys that I need, and shortly after, I found the two of the keys I granted to Stage 2 Jack. Now, let me tell you, this guy here really irritated me even worse than Stage 1 Jack, because I probably struggled for maybe 6, 7, 8 hours max on this guy in one day. So I had to put it down to easy. This is another reason why. And let me tell you, once I found the strat, it was really easy. You see, if you put it up against this cage here when he goes for the chainsaw, you actually can put him against there and he can't move. Like, at all. So it makes the fight so much easier. Now I only found this out after numerous trial and error. He eventually exploded because of the severe amount of bullying I subjected him to. And I was eventually sent onto the old house. Oh, what is the baker's son Lucas kidnapped my wife and I found myself in the pit with Marguerite. Now, this part really worried me because I wasn't sure how to do this without using a firearm because the thing is, if you climb the ladder, she immediately attacks you and you drop down back into the pit again. But luckily, I figured it out. If you stay in there for a couple of minutes, she automatically just drops down into the pit and you win anyways. But this part really wasn't that bad. Now I was on to stage 2 Marguerite, and let me tell you, this part also really wasn't that bad. I just pretty much slashed the spider cooch with my knife a couple of times and she was done for. It really wasn't that bad, honestly. Anyone can do it. I found the two keycards that I need to join Lucas's party and escape the Great Valley Pixel game. Now I was on to stage 2 Jack, and let me tell you, this part also really was not that bad, in all honesty. I mean, the iron lithium was really hard to get, but once I figured out how to get it was a breeze. All I really did was run around him and slash all the eyes on his body until they exploded. And then it was done. It was a done deal. Now I was on to Mia's section of the game, and let me tell you, this part really wasn't that eventful. Like, there really isn't much to say about it, so all I'll say is that the enemies are really easy to get around if you know exactly where to go and where to hide. I'm just gonna skip over this section. We found Ethan and then we had a sit down and chat with Jack. Evelyn started to take over Mia again, so she shoved me out to the shop and told me to go on my own way. Apparently we were going our separate ways. Now the bloater part over here was incredibly difficult. I wasn't sure how exactly to get around them, so I spent about half an hour running around just trying to stab them to death. Eventually I got it right though. I injected the little girl in the neck with the necrotoxin, and she started to melt. Now I was on to the most difficult part for me, and that was the Evelyn final fight. Now, I don't know how to get past this part, guys. I tried everything. I've done about 5 or 6 times more or less. And I just couldn't get past it. So eventually I gave up and I had to use a firearm to get past this fight. Because the thing is, the minute you get close to her, she immediately gnaws on your human drumsticks. And it's just an overall bad time. So I eventually went back to my storage and I got a gun. And let me tell you, this part was a breeze with it. Without it, it's pretty much impossible in my experience. So I shot her in the face a couple more times and she dropped me from a very high place. Somehow I didn't die and I met Chris Redfield. We then rode off into the center with my family. And that's the challenge, guys. So, is Resident Evil 7 beatable with only a nerf? Well, in my experience, no, it's not. I've tried everything in the last boss fight, guys, and that's the one that really messed me up. The rest of the game is really easy, to be honest with you. I really expected it to be more difficult. Maybe I'll go back and try to get on normal, but for now, I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, please click the like button, smash the subscribe button, and leave the notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, guys.